Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. What is rare is often misunderstood. What is unshakable is often feared. Some things in life can be copied, style, mannerisms, even intelligence to some extent. But true Sigma male traits, those can't be faked. You don't just act independent. You are independent to your core. You don't pretend to be emotionally unshaken. You actually don't need validation. You don't imitate strategic thinking. You naturally see patterns others miss. This isn't a role you play. It's the way you're wired. The world is full of people trying to prove something. They wear confidence like a mask, chase approval while claiming they don't need it, and imitate strength without ever developing true resilience. But you move differently. You don't need an audience to confirm who you are. You don't need permission to trust your instincts. And that's why you stand out. Not because you try to, but because you don't. This path isn't always easy. Being self-sufficient can feel isolating. Seeing through illusions can make you question everything. Walking away without regret can leave others confused. But understand this: your ability to stand alone is exactly what makes you powerful. Most people fear being different. You embrace it. And that's why the traits you carry, they can't be taught, they can't be borrowed, and they sure as hell can't be faked. Number 1, the ability to learn ruthlessly and self-correct without ego. Most people cling to their opinions like a life raft, even when they're sinking. They argue, justify, and twist logic just to avoid admitting they were wrong. A Sigma male? He doesn't have that weakness. For him, learning isn't about being right. It's about getting it right. If new information proves his old thinking was flawed, he doesn't fight it. He adjusts immediately. No whining, no fragile ego, no desperate need to save face, just a quiet internal shift toward a sharper, stronger understanding of reality. This is what separates him from the masses. Most people see being wrong as a threat to their identity. Their opinions aren't just thoughts. They're shields. Challenge those beliefs and they feel like you're attacking them personally. That's why they double down, argue endlessly, and refuse to budge even when the truth is staring them in the face. A Sigma male, on the other hand, has no need to protect a false self-image. His sense of worth isn't built on always being right, it's built on constant refinement. He treats knowledge like a weapon, sharpening it every chance he gets. And if that means throwing out outdated ideas, he'll do it without hesitation. This makes him a nightmare for manipulators. You can't trap him with flattery, emotional appeals, or social pressure. If the facts don't add up, he'll walk away, no matter who's telling the story. And if he realizes he's been wrong, he doesn't see it as failure. He sees it as progress. This level of mental flexibility, you can't fake it. It requires true inner strength, the ability to detach from ego and prioritize truth over pride. And that's why a Sigma male is always 10 steps ahead, because while others are busy defending outdated beliefs, he's already evolving. Number 2, razor-sharp perception that cuts through illusions. Most people hear words. A Sigma male hears what's underneath them. While others take things at face value, he's reading between the lines, picking up on what's not being said just as much as what is. This isn't some party trick or shallow intuition people like to brag about. It's the result of years of observing, analyzing, and learning how people truly operate. He notices the shift in tone when someone is lying, the forced smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes, the hesitation in their voice when they're holding something back. Even their body language betrays them: crossed arms, a slightly delayed reaction, an unconscious micro-expression. Most people miss these signs because they're too focused on what they want to believe. A Sigma male, he sees things exactly as they are. This ability makes him extremely difficult to manipulate. Fake compliments don't work. Guilt-tripping falls flat. Gaslighting, a waste of time. The moment someone tries to distort reality, he senses the inconsistency and mentally files it away. He won't always call it out right away. Sometimes it's more useful to let people think they've gotten away with something, but rest assured, he knows. And here's the part that makes people uneasy. He rarely explains how he knows. That's what gives him an almost unsettling edge. Others might call it a gut feeling, but in reality, it's a highly trained pattern recognition system. Years of watching how people act when they're genuine versus when they're deceptive have wired his brain to spot dishonesty before it fully forms. You can't fake this kind of perception. You can pretend to be insightful, but real awareness? That takes time, experience, and a mind that never stops questioning. And that's why a Sigma male always seems one step ahead, because he is. Number 3, the ability to walk away without regret. Most people struggle to let go even when they know they should. They linger in toxic relationships, stay in jobs that drain them, and entertain friendships that no longer serve them, all because they're afraid. Afraid of regret, of loneliness, of the unknown. They convince themselves to give it one more chance even when every sign tells them it's time to move on. A Sigma male? He doesn't hesitate. If something no longer aligns with his values, his peace, or his vision, he's gone. No dramatic farewell, no endless explanations, no dwelling on what-ifs. Just a clean break and a forward march. This isn't about coldness, it's about clarity. He understands something most people don't. Holding on for too long is far more damaging than letting go at the right time. He doesn't let attachment cloud his judgment. If a person, place, or situation is no longer right for him, he won't fight to make it fit. He won't plead, negotiate, or compromise his standards just to avoid discomfort. And here's what makes him different. He doesn't look back. No nostalgia, no second-guessing, no replaying past conversations in his head. Once he makes a decision, it's final. Because he knows that walking away isn't a loss, it's an act of self-respect. You can't fake this kind of certainty. Many try pretending to be detached, acting like they don't care, but their actions betray them. They keep tabs, stalk social media, secretly hope for a reunion. A Sigma male? When he leaves, he truly leaves. This ability unsettles people. They expect guilt, hesitation, or at least a moment of doubt. But a Sigma male has none of that. He doesn't sever ties impulsively. He does it with full awareness. And when he walks away, he does so with zero regret, because he knows one simple truth. Anything he had to force was never his to keep. Number 4, deep strategic thinking without seeking recognition. Most people who call themselves strategic have one fatal flaw. They want everyone to know they're smart. They drop hints, fish for compliments, and make sure people see how calculated their moves are. But true strategy? It's silent. And that's exactly how a Sigma male operates. He doesn't need applause for his intelligence. He doesn't waste time proving himself to anyone. While others are busy showing off, he's playing the long game. He watches, listens, and calculates before making a single move. Every decision is deliberate, never impulsive, never reckless. But here's what makes him truly different. He doesn't seek credit. While most people want recognition for their cleverness, a Sigma male understands that the best moves are often the ones nobody sees coming. He's willing to stay in the shadows, to let others take the spotlight, because he knows that real power isn't in being noticed. It's in being effective. This mindset makes him unpredictable. People don't see him as a threat until it's too late. While they're busy trying to prove their worth, he's 3 steps ahead, already thinking 10 moves forward. He isn't reactive, he's proactive. He doesn't get caught up in petty battles or meaningless arguments. He's thinking bigger, beyond the noise. And when the results finally show, he doesn't gloat, he doesn't look for validation, he simply moves on to the next play. You can't fake this level of strategy. Many try, pretending to be calculated while secretly craving admiration. But a Sigma male? He doesn't need the world to know how sharp he is, he just proves it over and over again without a word. Number 5, a genuine disregard for social trends. Most people love to think they're independent. They say they don't follow the crowd, that they form their own opinions. But watch closely, and you'll see the truth. They still crave approval. Their beliefs shift with the times, their preferences are subtly shaped by social trends, and their so-called unique opinions just happen to align with whatever is currently popular. A Sigma male? He doesn't play that game. He doesn't reject trends just to be different. He simply doesn't care about them. He evaluates everything based on logic, reason, and what actually makes sense, not on what's currently in fashion. If an idea holds up under scrutiny, he'll consider it. If it doesn't, he discards it, no matter how many people swear it's the truth. This makes him almost immune to social pressure. He won't pretend to like something because it's trendy. He won't force himself to adopt a belief just because it's popular. And he definitely won't go along with the crowd to fit in, because fitting in isn't even on his list of priorities. This is what separates him from the so-called rebels, who claim they don't follow trends but are just part of a different herd. The Sigma male isn't trying to be different, he just refuses to be controlled. And here's the thing, you can't fake this level of detachment. Many try acting like they don't care about trends while secretly checking to see if they're still alternative enough to stand out. But a Sigma male? He's not watching the crowd at all. His mind is focused on what actually matters. He moves through life on his own terms, unshaken by whatever society decides is in today and out tomorrow. While the masses chase the next big thing, he's already ahead, thinking for himself, and that's something you can't imitate. Number 6, a calculated presence that feels unpredictable. Most people are easy to read. They broadcast their thoughts, their emotions, and their next moves without even realizing it. They overshare on social media, explain themselves when no one asked, and make themselves constantly available, because deep down, they want to be understood, seen, and validated. A Sigma male? He operates on a completely different level. You never quite know what he's thinking, what he's planning, or where he's going next. Not because he's trying to be mysterious, but because his natural instinct is calculated discretion. He reveals what's necessary, when it's necessary, and nothing more. This makes him feel unpredictable, even though every move he makes is carefully thought out. He doesn't act on impulse, and he doesn't move just for the sake of movement. When he does something, it's deliberate. And because he doesn't explain himself or broadcast his intentions, people are left guessing. You can't fake this kind of presence. Many try, acting aloof or mysterious, hoping to seem unreadable. But forced mystery is easy to spot. It feels like a performance. A Sigma male, on the other hand, doesn't have to try. His unpredictability isn't about playing games. It's simply a byproduct of how he thinks and operates. And that's what makes him dangerous in the best way. You can't anticipate someone who isn't predictable. You can't manipulate someone who doesn't expose his emotions. And you can't control someone who moves silently but with absolute intent. He's not loud. He's not flashy. But when he makes a move, you'll feel it. Because unlike the masses who seek attention with every action, a Sigma male understands the real power of being unseen until the moment is right. Number 7, the capacity to say no without explanation. Most people treat the word no like it's a crime. They feel guilty, hesitate, and scramble for excuses to soften the rejection. They say, "I'd love to, but I'm busy," instead of just no. They add unnecessary details, hoping to be understood rather than simply standing their ground. A Sigma male, he doesn't play that game. He says no as a full sentence. No guilt, no explanation, no need for approval. If something doesn't align with his priorities, he declines, plain and simple. This level of conviction is rare. Most people worry about how their refusal will be perceived. They fear disappointing others, burning bridges, or being seen as rude. But a Sigma male understands something they don't. Over-explaining is just another form of seeking permission. And he doesn't ask for permission. He decides. He knows that if a decision is right for him, that's reason enough. He doesn't owe anyone a lengthy justification for prioritizing his time, his energy, or his peace of mind. And most importantly, he doesn't need anyone to agree with him. And here's the truth. You can't fake this kind of self-assurance. Many people try, acting tough while secretly hoping others understand their reasons. But their hesitation gives them away. A Sigma male, his no is final because it's rooted in absolute certainty. This makes him unpredictable, and to some, even intimidating. People can't manipulate someone who doesn't negotiate his own boundaries. They can't pressure someone who refuses to engage in emotional bargaining. And that's what sets him apart. He values his time, his choices, and his instincts enough to protect them, without needing approval, validation, or a long-winded excuse. Number 8, the unteachable skill of thinking in systems. The unteachable skill of thinking in systems. Most people see life as a series of isolated events. They react to what's in front of them, never stopping to ask why things happen the way they do. They think in moments, not in structures. A Sigma male. He sees the entire blueprint. He doesn't just notice what's happening, he understands the mechanics behind it. Business, relationships, society. Everything operates in systems, and he has the rare ability to see the connections that others miss. This is why he moves differently. While most people get caught up in surface-level emotions, distractions, and knee-jerk reactions, he's already 10 steps ahead. He's not reacting to today's chaos. He's anticipating tomorrow's outcome. He studies patterns, dissects behaviors, and sees the game behind the game. This kind of thinking can't be taught. You can read all the books, watch all the lectures, and try to mimic strategic minds, but if you don't naturally see the world in interconnected systems, you never will. Some people are born with the instinct to recognize structures, trends, and invisible forces that shape reality. Others are forever trapped in short-term thinking, blind to the deeper layers of how things actually work. This is why a Sigma male often seems detached from the noise of everyday life. He doesn't get emotional over trivial matters because he's already processed the bigger picture. He understands cause and effect in ways most people never will. And because of this, he makes moves that seem calculated, effortless, and eerily accurate. You can't fake this level of perception. Pretending to be strategic is easy. Truly seeing how everything fits together is not. That's why when a Sigma male speaks, people listen. When he moves, people notice. And when he wins, people call it luck, when in reality, he just saw the game before they even knew they were playing. Number 9, the lack of interest in impressing others. Most people spend their lives performing. They shape their personalities around what others expect, carefully curating their words, their actions, even their silence, all in the hope of being admired. Social media, fashion choices, career moves, so much of it is driven by an unspoken need to be impressive. A Sigma male? He simply doesn't care. Not in a rebellious, too cool for the world kind of way, but in a deeply rooted, unshakable way. His value isn't determined by applause, and his decisions aren't influenced by how they will be perceived. He moves for himself, not for an audience. And here's the paradox. This complete lack of effort to impress is exactly what makes him magnetic. People are drawn to those who don't seek validation because deep down they wish they could do the same. They wish they could walk into a room without wondering how they're being perceived. They wish they could make decisions without fear of judgment. Most men talk about not caring, but watch their actions closely and you'll see the truth. They subtly seek approval, through their humor, their achievements, their social circles. A Sigma male? There is no hidden agenda. If you admire him, great. If you don't, it changes absolutely nothing for him, and that's what sets him apart. He's not chasing admiration, so admiration chases him. His confidence isn't manufactured, it's real. His choices aren't performances, they're personal. You can't fake this kind of self-containment. Many try, acting aloof or indifferent, but forced detachment always cracks under pressure. A Sigma male doesn't need to prove anything. His actions, his presence, and his unshaken sense of self do all the talking, and that's why, whether he tries to or not, he leaves an impression that lasts. Number 10. The willingness to disrupt social norms without fear. Most people like to believe they're independent thinkers, but when it really counts, when it means standing alone, going against the grain, or challenging deeply ingrained ideas, suddenly they hesitate. They worry about backlash, about being judged, about stepping on the wrong toes. They only challenge norms when it's safe to do so. A Sigma male? He doesn't wait for permission. If something doesn't make sense, he questions it. If a rule is pointless, he ignores it. If a system is broken, he walks away from it. And he does it all without hesitation, not because he enjoys being different, but because he refuses to follow anything blindly. This isn't about being rebellious for the sake of it. It's about pure, unfiltered, independent thought. A Sigma male doesn't disrupt just to cause chaos. He disrupts because he's thinking on a level most people don't. While others fall in line because that's just the way things are, he asks the uncomfortable question, but why? And that's what makes him different. He doesn't need the comfort of the crowd. Most people secretly crave the security of belonging. They want to be seen as unique, but not so unique that they feel isolated. A Sigma male? Isolation doesn't scare him. Conforming does. Many try to fake nonconformity. They dress differently, adopt controversial opinions, or pretend to be against the system. But their need for attention gives them away. Real nonconformity isn't loud, it's effortless. A Sigma male doesn't make a show of being different. He simply is, and that's what makes him untouchable. You can't shame him, pressure him, or guilt him into submission because he doesn't care about fitting into a world that makes no sense to him. While others seek approval, he seeks truth. And truth, by its very nature, always disrupts. Number 11. No need for superficial distractions. Most people claim to be focused, but watch closely. They can't sit still without reaching for their phones. They need background noise, constant entertainment, or some form of social validation to keep them occupied. They tell themselves they're in control, but the truth? They're addicted to distractions. A Sigma male? He operates differently. He doesn't seek distractions because he doesn't need them. His mind is his own playground, his own battlefield, his own sanctuary. He can sit in silence for hours, lost in thought, without feeling restless. He doesn't fear being alone with his mind. He thrives in it. This level of self-sufficiency is rare. Most people look for external stimulation to escape their own thoughts. They binge-watch shows, scroll endlessly, and surround themselves with noise, not because they enjoy it, but because they can't stand the stillness. A Sigma male? He embraces the stillness. This doesn't mean he never enjoys entertainment or social interaction. It means he isn't dependent on them. He doesn't need distractions to fill a void because he has no void to fill. His focus is sharp, his mind is occupied with things that actually matter, and his sense of fulfillment comes from within, not from external noise. And here's the kicker. You can't fake this kind of self-sufficiency. Many try, pretending to be low maintenance while secretly craving attention. Others act like they don't need validation, yet they subtly seek approval through every action. But a Sigma male, his detachment is real. When you meet someone who is genuinely at peace in his own mind, who doesn't need to be entertained, distracted, or validated, you're looking at a rare breed. And that's something you either have or you don't. Conclusion. The truth about being a Sigma male. Being a Sigma male isn't something you choose. It's something you are. You don't wake up one day and decide to be independent, self-sufficient, and immune to external validation. It's built into you, tested by experience, and refined through solitude. The world tries to convince you that you need to fit in, that you should follow the trends, soften your edges, and seek approval like everyone else. But deep down, you already know that's not your path. You don't move like the crowd because you were never meant to. Your ability to think without seeking validation, to detach from superficial distractions, and to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, those are traits that can't be faked. People may try to imitate the surface-level aspects of being a Sigma, but they'll never match the depth, the mindset, and the complete absence of fear when it comes to standing alone. And that's where your power lies. You don't need to announce your presence. Your silence speaks louder than their noise. You don't need to seek approval. Your results prove everything. You don't need to convince people of your worth. You know exactly who you are. Not everyone will understand you. Some will call you detached. Some will think you're too intense, too selective, too unwilling to conform. Let them. A lion doesn't explain itself to sheep. The truth is, your strength is rare. And in a world that thrives on conformity, rarity is power. So stay relentless, stay focused, stay unapologetically you. Because what you have, they can't fake it, and they never will. Thank you for watching. God bless you.